Welcome back. Today we're talking about something that many people forget, but it can really help your brain, especially if you're over 60. To talk about this, we've invited someone very familiar to us now, Dr. Shigeyaki Hinohara, the oldest doctor still working in Japan. He's over 100 years old, still full of energy and truly respected in Japan. He's going to tell us about one simple habit at night that can help keep your brain clear and strong. Welcome back, Dr. Hinohara. We're so happy to have you here again. I know you believe that what we do before sleeping can really affect how we feel and think the next day. So tell us, what is one thing that people over 60 should never forget before going to bed?
Thank you. I'm glad to be here again. Yes, I truly believe the brain doesn't turn off while we sleep. In fact, when we rest, the brain starts doing some very important work. It sorts out all the things we saw, heard and felt during the day. It stores memories, clears out waste, and fixes its own connections. But for the brain to do all this, it needs the right setting and fuel. If we go to sleep without giving the brain what it needs, it's like skipping a very important step. It's not just a small mistake. It's like leaving the brain hungry. And when this happens night after night, it adds up. You start waking up feeling slow, forgetful, or just tired in your mind. And no cup of coffee can fix that. You must help the brain get ready before sleep. It's not hard, but it's very important.
That's really eye-opening. We usually think of hunger as something that affects the stomach, not the brain. But what you're saying is that when we don't give the brain the fuel it needs before sleep, it suffers, and that's more dangerous than we think. I remember my grandfather. He was always so sharp, but later in life he began forgetting names and losing things. No one thought to ask what he ate at night, or if he even ate at all. How does this kind of habit lead to real memory problems?
Think of your brain like a library. At night, it tries to sort and store everything. It also fixes any broken parts and cleans up old ones. But imagine if the librarian had no lights, no tools, and no snacks. How would the work get done? If you don't give the brain some fuel and a feeling of calm, it can't do its job. Instead of working deeply, the brain just tries to get through the night. It stops doing the helpful stuff and goes into survival mode. I'll give you a real story. I had a patient, Mr. Yamamoto, age 74. He used to be a school principal, a very smart and organized man, but he came to me saying he kept forgetting things. Nothing serious, not dementia, but little things like forgetting names, losing his keys, walking into a room, and forgetting why he went in. When I asked about his daily habits, he told me he stopped eating after 6 p.m. because of some diet advice he read. What he didn't know was that his brain, especially at his age, was going through a long stretch without any fuel. He was going to bed with nothing to support his brain through the night. No protein, no calming foods, nothing, just sleep and stress. When I suggested that Mr. Yamamoto try a simple bedtime habit, like drinking a warm tofu broth, doing a short stretch, and taking a few deep breaths, everything started to change. In just a few weeks, his mind felt clearer in the morning. He could focus better and remember more. His wife even said he felt more there, more aware and connected. That's what I mean by starving the brain. It's not about the stomach being empty. It's about the brain and nervous system being left without the support they need. They're hungry for peace, for balance, for strength. So when we talk about a nighttime habit, we're not just talking about having a snack. We're talking about sending the brain a clear message. You're safe now. It's time to rest and heal.
That's a beautiful way to look at it, like dimming the lights after a concert, a way of telling the brain the day is done and now it's time to clean up and recharge. But what happens if that message never comes?
If you don't send that signal, The brain doesn't relax. It stays alert. It keeps scanning for danger, saving energy instead of using it to rebuild. In Japan, we believe that what we eat at night is more than just food. It's a message, but the full bedtime routine is part of that message too. The soft lighting, slow breathing, a gentle rhythm in your actions. These are signs the brain picks up. They speak directly to the part of the brain that handles emotions, memory, and survival. Without these signs, the brain stays on edge. It doesn't go fully into rest mode. That's why so many people wake up around 2 or 3 in the morning, tired, confused, and unrested.
And modern science supports this.
Yes, the research agrees. Studies show that simple, calming habits before sleep can lower stress hormones like cortisol, keep the heart rhythm steady, and activate the part of the nervous system that helps you relax. All of this helps your brain store memories and repair itself during sleep.
That's so important, especially because many older people in the US are told not to eat anything before bed. But you're saying it's not about avoiding food, it's about choosing the right kind.
Exactly. After age 60, the brain needs more care. Blood doesn't move as fast. Hormones change. And most of all, the body starts using its own tissue for energy more quickly when you go too long without food. That includes brain tissue, malice. So if you go to bed with an empty stomach, your brain gets the signal. We don't have enough fuel. And instead of fixing itself or storing memories, it just tries to survive. Over time, doing this every night takes away your sharp thinking. You won't notice it right away, but slowly, your tired brain becomes your new normal.
That's incredible. So what kind of food should someone over 60 eat before bed to help their brain? And is this ritual just about eating, or is there more to it? What would a real Japanese-style bedtime routine look like? One that helps the body and the heart.
Think of it as sending a warm message to the brain. You want to give it light protein, calming minerals, and gentle, easy energy. In Japan, a small bowl of warm miso soup with soft tofu is common. The miso helps the stomach and digestion. The tofu gives protein that helps the brain, and the warmth helps the whole nervous system relax. Another good choice is a soft boiled egg with some lightly steamed green vegetables, or a small piece of white fish cooked with ginger. The food shouldn't be heavy or cold. It should be clean, warm, and easy to digest. These simple things, soft lights, quiet moments, warm food, tell your body and your mind that the day is ending, that it's time to rest, to feel safe, and to repair. You want to stay away from things like sugar, cold foods, or anything processed at night. These types of foods confuse the body and interrupt its natural sleep rhythm.
That makes perfect sense. And it really makes me think most older adults aren't even aware of this. Many probably never think about their bedtime habits like this. But you mentioned there's more to this than just food.
Yes, I was just about to explain. In Japan, we have a concept called Shinshin Ishinyo, which means the mind and body are one. So our bedtime routine doesn't end in the kitchen. We try to create a full environment of peace and calm throughout the house. This means turning off all screens, TVs, phones, tablets, at least 30 minutes before going to sleep. The blue light from screens can stop melatonin, the sleep hormone, from being made. It keeps the brain thinking it's still daytime. Instead, we might light a candle or open a window to let in some fresh air. We slow things down. Even reading a book made of paper, especially something soft, like poetry or spiritual writing, can gently prepare the mind for rest.
And you combine this with special breathing too, right?
Yes, breathing is a big part of it. We use a method called hard breathing. It's very simple. Slow, deep breaths into the belly, and then breathe out even slower than you breathed in. Just 5 minutes of this kind of breathing helps calm the body. It lowers stress, slows the heart rate, and tells the brain it's time to let go. You can also drink a warm herbal tea or write a short list of things you're thankful for. Doing these things together creates a calming experience for your senses. It gently moves the brain into sleep mode so it can start to heal and clean itself.
I love that idea. A gratitude list. Gratitude is such a small word, but it has such a big effect. Studies say people who practice gratitude sleep better, feel less depressed, and remember more clearly. It's like saying thank you to the day helps the brain relax.
Exactly. This isn't just an old belief. Science backs it up. A study in the journal Applied Psychology, Health and Well-Being showed that people who wrote down 3 things they were grateful for before bed slept longer and felt more rested in the morning. Another study from UC Davis found that doing a regular gratitude practice improved sleep, lowered blood pressure, and even made the immune system stronger. Gratitude helps the brain stop seeing the world as dangerous. It turns on parts of the brain that handle emotions and calm thinking. So it's not just a nice idea, it's real medicine for your mind.
Earlier, you mentioned the word rhythm a few times. Can you explain why timing is so important, maybe even more than the food itself?
Yes, the brain works in cycles, and those cycles are guided by things like light, sound, and food. If you eat at random times, sleep at different hours every night, and use bright screens before bed, your brain stays alert and doesn't fully rest. But if you eat at the same time each evening, do light stretches and breathe slowly, your body gets the message. It's safe now, you can relax and recover.
That makes a lot of sense. And that brings us to movement. I know you don't just suggest eating the right foods, you also recommend a short physical routine. What should that look like?
Yes, movement comes first, but I don't mean heavy exercise or anything stressful. I'm talking about gentle, mindful movements. Just 5 minutes is enough. Start with slow neck rolls, then circle your shoulders, bend forward gently, then sit and breathe deeply. Each move should feel like you're letting go of the day. Reason it works is simple. Soft movement gets your blood flowing. It calms your nervous system. It opens the door for your body to start healing. When you follow that with a light, warm snack, your brain can take in what it needs much more easily.
So the order matters. First movement, then food?
Exactly. Movement sets the scene. Food is the message. Together, they tell your brain, the day is over. You can begin to heal now.
What about people who say they can't eat at night, that it gives them heartburn or makes their sleep worse?
That usually means the food is too heavy or the timing is off. A big meal late at night can cause problems, but a small, warm, liquid-based snack is helpful. If digestion is weak, try fermented foods like miso or even a small piece of pickled plum. These help your stomach and support brain chemistry too.
That's really helpful. Now, many older adults are worried about memory. I hear people say things like, I keep losing my glasses, or I can't remember names anymore. It creates a lot of fear, but your advice gives hope that maybe memory can be protected. Is that right?
Yes, memory is made during sleep, but not just any sleep. You need deep, steady sleep. And that only happens when your blood sugar, stress levels, and brain chemicals are balanced. This nighttime routine we've talked about does just that. It keeps your blood sugar steady, lowers stress, and helps brain chemicals like serotonin and GABA, both of which support calm and memory.
What about drinks? Are there any that help or ones we should avoid?
Avoid anything cold, sugary, or with caffeine. So, no sodas, no alcohol, and no green tea at night. Instead, drink something warm and calming. Chamomile tea is good, or warm barley water. Another great one is golden milk, warm almond milk with turmeric and a little black pepper. These calm the stomach and help the brain rest.
And for someone who wants to start this tonight, what's the easiest bedtime habit they can try?
It can be very simple. Boil water. Stir in a spoonful of miso. Add a few soft pieces of tofu. Sit down. Breathe slowly while you sip. Then stretch for 5 minutes. Roll your shoulders, gently drop your head forward. Touch your toes. Then say to yourself, I prepare my mind for peace. Last, write down 3 small things you're thankful for. It can be anything: a pair of warm socks, a kind smile, or a good book. This little act ends your day in a peaceful way and helps the brain save the right memories. It's like telling your mind, I choose to rest in comfort, not in stress.
That's so beautiful and so simple, which makes it doable. A lot of people feel overwhelmed by health tips, but this feels soft and kind, like a gift you give yourself.
That's exactly the point. Aging well isn't about forcing things. It's about rhythm, gentle habits, and steady care.
Doctor, thank you so much. What you shared today isn't just advice. It feels like an invitation, a kind way to end each day by giving the brain what it really needs, not just what we think it needs.
Yes, and to everyone listening, remember this: memory doesn't disappear with age. It fades when we stop taking care of it. Before sleep, take a moment to care for your mind. Calm it, feed it, and it will remember you in return.
Wise words as always. Thank you, dear listeners. If you found this helpful, don't forget to subscribe and share the peace.